Did you know that the socks you wear every day have a history dating back over 2,000 years? Yes, that's right. The humble sock has been keeping our toes toasty for millennia. Let's take a trip back in time to the age of cave dwellers. Imagine a world where supermarkets and shopping malls don't exist, a time when you had to make everything you needed with your own two hands. In those days, socks weren't a fashion statement, they were a necessity. To shield their feet from the harsh elements, cavemen would wrap their feet in animal skins and furs. This was the earliest form of socks, primitive and rudimentary, but effective in serving their purpose. Now fast forward a few centuries to the sophisticated civilizations of ancient Egypt and Greece. Here, socks took on a whole new meaning. They were no longer just about warmth and protection, but became symbols of purity and status. In ancient Egypt, socks were made from plant fibers and were often brightly colored, a clear indication of wealth and status. The Greeks, on the other hand, knitted their socks from matted animal hair, creating a soft and comfortable foot covering. The evolution of socks did not stop there. As civilizations advanced, so did their sock-making techniques. The materials used became more varied and sophisticated, and the designs more intricate. Socks started to take on the form we are familiar with today. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The journey of the sock is a long and fascinating one, filled with interesting twists and turns. We have only just scratched the surface of this captivating history. So the next time you put on your socks, remember that you're wearing a piece of ancient history. Each pair is a testament to human innovation and adaptation, a symbol of our journey through time. From the cave dwellers to the sophisticated civilizations of ancient Egypt and Greece, socks have been and continue to be an integral part of our lives. The ancient Egyptians, known for their ingenuity, took the sock game to a new level. Picture this. It's sometime between the 3rd and 6th centuries AD, in the heart of ancient Egypt. The air is dry, the sun is hot, and the fashion, well, it's all about the socks. Archaeologists have uncovered evidence of intricately knitted socks from this time period, found preserved in Egyptian tombs. These aren't your average run-of-the-mill socks we're talking about. They were crafted with meticulous precision, with patterns and designs that would put modern-day sock manufacturers to shame. These socks were made using a technique known as nail binding, a kind of single-needle knitting. This method created a durable and flexible fabric perfect for the Egyptian climate, keeping the wearer's feet cool in the scorching heat and warm in the chill of the desert night. But what really set these socks apart was the use of color. The Egyptians didn't just use color to make their socks look pretty. No, color was a way to show off your social status. The more vibrant and diverse the colors, the higher your standing in society. It's like wearing your bank account on your feet. Imagine walking around with socks striped in brilliant hues of blue, red, and gold, the colors so vivid they could be seen from a distance, announcing your arrival before you even spoke a word. And if the colors weren't enough, the designs woven into the socks added an extra layer of flair. From geometric patterns to depictions of gods and goddesses, each pair of socks was a work of art. But these socks weren't just about fashion. They served a practical purpose too. In the hot, sandy landscape of Egypt, socks provided a layer of protection against the harsh elements, preventing blisters and burns from the scorching sands. The socks of ancient Egypt were more than just foot coverings, they were a status symbol. So next time you put on a pair of socks, remember, you're not just keeping your feet warm, you're participating in a tradition that goes back centuries to the time of the Great Pyramids and the mighty pharaohs. In ancient Greece, socks took on a whole new meaning. We're stepping back in time to a period where socks were more than just an accessory. They were a necessity, a symbol of practicality and survival. The ancient Greeks, renowned for their advancements in philosophy, arts, and politics, also had a unique approach to clothing. When it came to socks, they were far from fancy. The ancient Greeks crafted their socks from matted animal hair. Now, this might not sound very appealing, but these socks provided much-needed warmth during the colder months. The Greeks were pragmatic people who valued functionality over aesthetics, and their choice of socks was no exception. These socks, crafted with care from the hair of animals, were not about style or fashion. They were a testament to the inventive spirit of the Greeks, an embodiment of their adaptability and resilience. Now let's introduce the Greek poet Hesiod. who gives us one of the earliest mentions of socks in literature. In his works, Hesiod refers to piloi, a type of sock worn by Greeks for warmth. The piloi were made of felt, a material created by matting, condensing, and pressing animal fibers together. This process resulted in a warm and resilient fabric, perfect for protecting the feet against the harsh Greek winters. The piloi were not just a pair of socks. They were a testament to the resourcefulness of the ancient Greeks. They were a crucial part of the everyday attire, playing a vital role in keeping the Greeks warm and comfortable. So the next time you pull on a pair of socks, remember the ancient Greeks. Remember their resourcefulness and ingenuity in creating a simple, functional item from the world around them. Remember the practicality that drove them to create the piloi, turning animal hair into a useful, essential piece of clothing. So, in ancient Greece, socks were a functional, essential piece of clothing. The Romans, not to be outdone by the Greeks, had their own take on socks. Just as socks have evolved in their design and purpose in modern times, so too did they adapt and change in the ancient world. In Rome, socks were known as udones, a term that derived from the Latin word udo, meaning wet. These socks were crafted from woven fabric, designed to provide warmth and comfort against the chill of the Roman winters. But the Romans didn't stop at practicality. As they often did, they took a simple, utilitarian item and turned it into a fashion statement. The udones were not simply a means of keeping feet warm, they became an accessory, a symbol of status and wealth. The wealthier the individual, the more elaborate and colorful their socks would be. This was a society that valued appearances, and the udones were a part of that, a way to show off one's social standing. But it wasn't just the elite who saw value in the humble sock. Roman actors, too, found a use for them in their performances. Different types of socks were used to indicate different characters on stage. A tragic character might wear a simple, unadorned pair, whilst a comedic character would sport brightly colored, patterned udones. This was a clever and visual way to help the audience distinguish between characters and their roles within the play. So, from their humble origins as a practical piece of clothing designed to keep feet warm, to a symbol of wealth and status, and even a prop in theatrical performances, socks in ancient Rome were far from ordinary. They were a versatile accessory, used and valued by everyone from the common man to the wealthy elite. From practicality to fashion, socks in ancient Rome were a versatile accessory. They were a testament to the ingenuity and creativity of the Romans, a perfect example of how they took something simple and transformed it into something extraordinary. From cavemen to Romans, socks have come a long way. We've embarked on a journey through time, tracing the humble origins of socks back to the cavemen who first wrapped their feet in animal skins. From there, we moved to the banks of the Nile, where ancient Egyptians crafted socks from woven plant fibers, creating a comfortable and practical garment for their sandal-clad feet. Our journey then took us to the lands of ancient Greece, where socks evolved into piloi, thick pads worn under sandals for added comfort. We wrapped up our historical tour in ancient Rome, where the Romans took a more luxurious approach, knitting their socks from soft, warm wool. Through the ages, socks have been a testament to human ingenuity, keeping our feet protected and comfortable. And that's a wrap on the history of socks before Christ. So the next time you slip on a pair, give a thought to the long history that led to their creation.